What? Yeah. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Oh, wow. I should not be singing. Thank you. I'm pretty good with those fake air drums. So I have no idea where he's at. I think he was kidnapped. We did have plans to do this together, and he's not here, which tells me that their aliens are real. Aliens are, in fact, real. Neiman, such a whale. So yeah, if I said that I had not done any minor whaling, I would be lying. I don't have all three. That's a fact. That is a fact. I don't have all three. I'm close. But I haven't had to whale a ton. What I mean by that is I haven't had to spend thousands or anything like that. I was actually very close to begin with. SEE, it was mostly relics for them, and then a couple characters. Another one, it was a couple characters and relics. It's basically a couple characters and relics for all of them, with the exception of the new Ray. She's still just a million miles away still. But anyway, I want to say hi to everybody. Dave, what is going on? Pretty excited to be here, and I think maybe, just maybe, we might have Sure Shot show up. I don't know. Again, literally, he was planning on showing up, but I was like, well, it's 10 my time. He's not here. He must have been kidnapped. He's not responding to my texts. So aliens are real. I'm telling you guys right now, aliens are real. What's up, Bassright? What is going on, my brother? BB-8. Whale much? Warbringer. I'm sorry to tell you that Force Canada has decided you are to stay in TI for this foreseeable future. I don't know. We'll talk about that, because I'll tell you what, I feel like a failure, man. Totally a failure. We went into the first, I didn't play very competitively at the end of my reign, and then I quit the game for almost a year. And then coming back, I have realized that my mods suck at the high end. I mean, they really, really suck bad. I can tell you, it is a humbling experience for a bunch of reasons. You go into a territory war at the highest echelon, and we even had an easy territory war. If anyone from Team Instinct is watching, they know we had a gimme. And I couldn't hardly set any defenses for them because I was missing so many of the compositions, like pieces or parts of the compositions. And then when I had a composition, oh my gosh, the aliens let them go. It's either EA let him go or the aliens let him go. But Sure Shot is here. Oh.
I come bearing donuts. Hey, how's it going? You guys want one?
Fun fact, he always bears donuts. He always comes bringing donuts every single Wednesday. You guys didn't know that, probably.
You deserve a donut.
Yeah, and they're the freshest donut. It's a front for a drug place, but it's a really, really good donut, I tell you what.
Really, really good drugs.
Donuts. Let's give you a voice.
Hey, how's it going? Right.
I had killed that mic.
Sat down to say hi, and you guys didn't even hear me.
Yeah, so I'm glad you're not dead. Because, we were just talking about that, and I was like, I think
Still
he might
alive.
be dead.
Still
He might be alive.
And the cake is a lie.
Yeah, so it was a really humbling experience because they're like, set this, or this, and then they're like, they looked at my roster and they were like, okay, everyone's supposed to set 5 teams. We're going to have you set 3. So I'm like, I just felt horrible. I'm like, I can't even hardly contribute on defense. And I'm like, you know what? That's okay, because I can't set a whole lot on defense, but I'll have a ton for offense, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's I'll be able to at least, contribute a little more on offense. Surely. Don't call me Shirley. And
This is no joke, and don't call me Shirley.
And so I was like, okay, so this will be better on offense. And then offense rolls around, And every wall that we come into, they're like, this is the assigned, team. And couple things. First off, things have evolved. Oh my goodness. Like the teams they're assigning, I'm like, I've never even used that combo. Like, what's the turn order? What's the kill order? And then my mods were all wrong.
Talking territory wars.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my mods are totally off for the team you're assigning first off. So if I had the team, my mods were all wrong. And so my team was doing the wrong things and it didn't go right. So I was like, uh-oh. So, I'm getting like a 19 instead of a 20. And I'm like, oh man, I'm contributing poorly. Or they're like, you need to have this team with like Jedi Knight Luke or whatever. And I'm like, well, I don't even have that, guys. I couldn't even participate on offense.
I love that new Jedi meta too. It's like, oh, this is a wonderful team composition. You got what, Tambar 7-star in gear 13? No? Oh, well, then forget it.
So it's been a humbling experience. I have to give a shout out to everyone in Team Instinct for being patient with me, but especially Jedi Master Adastra. She's awesome. I've known her for a super long time. In fact, her and I have done, on Saturday mornings, I help literally found that show, but she's been on it also now for years. And I haven't been for the last, obviously, year because I kind of bailed on that show when I quit the game. But she's been a staple of that game now for years. But she's eventually, when I left, she wasn't even in Team Instinct, but now she's a staple of Team Instinct. And man, is she. And I'm like,
the world turns.
I know, but I was like, she has been literally my crutch since I come back. I'm like, what do I do with that? And she's like, oh man, just do this. And then I'm like, what do I do with that? And she's like, well, just send in those two. And I'm like, just two? And she's like, yeah, that'll work. And I was like, I'm going to trust you here. So I did it and it was easy peasy. And I was like, oh man. And she just knows her stuff. So, but I'm just, I'm shocked because.
Is that just really good theory crafting or is that just really trial and error? I mean, like she just tried it that many times.
No, it's one of those things. I think the whole community knows a lot of stuff that I'm missing because, a lot has become discovered over the last year that it's omitted. True. I haven't seen videos. I haven't seen.
And I'm horrible. I rely solely on you for that kind of information. So, that's where we're both at.
Yeah. I literally, especially at the high end, there's these tweaks to teams that you see and there's turn order and all this. Well, anyway, what I've come to realize is I, A, don't have the right offense. I, B, don't have the right defense. And C, if I have the right team, I have them totally modded incorrectly. Even the teams I had modded correctly a year ago, they've totally changed how they are turn ordered. My Malik used to be, it was like you got to have high tenacity, high protection. That is great, but speed is an important key right now. So it's like, it's completely just on its head, and they're being extremely patient with me. I have like, 3 of the 4 GLs I don't have. I don't have Jedi Knight Luke or whatever his name is, JKL. And so I know my energy's bothering them. They're like, it just tipped over. When I hit go.
Energy bothers you. It's the acronyms that really trip me up all the time. I try to remember their names. It's like JMY, JKL, AJ, CNN, TNT. I don't know.
So I finally finished my farms on basically everyone except for the Resistance hero dudes. And then, of course, I'm not going to get Queel, IG-11, or Moff because you got to buy those guys. I'm not going to buy them. Kie Adimundi, you've got to get, which I've got to get that through the guild. And then the 3 GLs. Now, everybody
is a long holdout for a lot of people.
Yeah. And then the Resistance heroes I'm farming, but they're not, I'm just farming them because I can, not because I want to or necessarily because they're my last GL. But the other GLs I'm doing well on. But then the Vader, Dooku, Sidious, Marauder, and Piet, they're actually I'm got them up there for relics. The whole point of them is relics. And I just got Piet to relics yesterday. Just popped him into relics yesterday. He was gear 12 for the last few days, and I had to build his relic or his gear 12 pieces. I had, ironically, his right side, the hardest side, built immediately because he had really stupid gear 12 plus piece requirements. Pieces I was sitting on. He didn't need the hard to get ones. He had the innocuous ones that everybody gets and nobody needs. So that was good. That was a blessing. It was like, oh, thanks. He didn't need the gun or the or whatever. But so that was good. But then the left side was stupid pieces you never have. So I had to build those, which luckily it was dark side energy. So I was farming the hell out of his pieces, which got me all the rest of Supreme Leader. And I finally got him, Depths of Rage. And I'm figuring this out. See, I didn't watch any videos, so I didn't know this, but there's
Trial
actually...
by error, just kind of feeling around in the dark there. Oh, touch something.
Yeah, there's actually, when you're using him in Arena, you don't have to wait till he gets to the 100% ultimate charge to use him. In fact, you shouldn't, because you can lose. Like, I kept losing, and I'm like, why? But I kept waiting to get to the ultimate charge. And the RNG, like on the other side, the game will use him as second he gets to his 60%. But if you can get him to your 85%, survive that 1 turn aggressive stance from the opponent, and then go into the 2 turn ultimate, you'll actually win every time. And I didn't realize this at the beginning, and I kept trying to get to the 3 turn and then losing, and 3 turn and losing, 3 turn and losing. I was like, what am I losing for? But it's because I wasn't going into the ultimate. And so you shouldn't wait until the 3 turn ultimate, especially in mirror matches. You should try to get into that ultimate. But if you go into the 1 stance, you could lose possibly on the mirror matches because you come out too quickly and then die. So I go for the 2 turn, 85% ultimate charge, and then I win every time. This is all like, new to me. I mean, everybody out there probably knows this. I didn't.
For those that were in the world of Galactic Legends up to this point, yes.
Yeah. So let's see. We got some comments. Let's get caught up really quick. Ducky, wow. When I grow up, I want to be warrior. No, you don't. Let's see. Matt Bailey, what's up, brother? Neiman said EA gotcha, but luckily they let you go.
They've always had me. They've had me for years, unfortunately.
Luck with your GAC. Yeah, I don't know about that. My GAC is going to be Gacky Bassreich. That means that you should make a new guide mods video. I know, right? I really do. Is Sure Shot on the night shift?
Sit down and pump that real quick.
Hey, Sure Shot. Glad to see that you weren't kidnapped by the aliens.
Hi, guys. Yeah, no. I was kidnapped, but it's okay. I've already got myself out.
What kind of donuts are they,
2 dead,
Sure Shot?
3 wounded.
Yeah. What kind of donuts are they, bro?
These are Long Johns. These are Bavarian-filled chocolate Long Johns.
And then Eric's asking, how in the world do I take a year off and have 3 of them already? I don't have 3 of them. I put almost.
Just on the way to.
Yeah, almost. We'll talk about that in a second because we'll go into that.
You created your own journey guide.
Yeah. Laser focus and a massive roster before I left. That is actually correct. I was so close with a lot of them. And really it comes down to relics, which I was going crazy on relics and I ran out of relic material. In fact, I'm in real bad shape on relics. If Luke pops, I'm probably going to have to use all my crystals to buy relic material for Luke. So I've been trying to save all my crystals. Paulo Guare is like, man, your energy, you got to spend it. I will here in just a second.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Yeah. Let's see. Zetas on Piet. I want to do the Zetas on Piet, but I'm trying to save all my Zetas. I need like 240 Zeta material, and I'm not even close. So I am so glad to have my first. Zeta. Yeah, I'm glad to have my first one too. Digging the vocalization warrior. I don't believe that. For a minute, I was singing horribly. The male version of WAP.
Explain yourself, Warbringer. What does GAC stand for then?
Yeah. And I remodded him. Now I'm going to be in trouble, I'm sure, because my mods, again, are not optimal, and I need to take these mods up.
Just only first level 6 dots.
They're first level 6 dots. You can kind of take that over now that you're here.
Death Knight. Hello there.
So this one, I can go up 1 more. It's only 4 on the speed roll, so I can take it up to, hopefully 26 speed. I'm hoping 26 speed. This one has a good amount of offense. It has 2.79% offense and 121 core offense. And so it has both percentage and flat. So that's a really good offense with offense.
Warbringer, I don't think we'll be able to unhide that comment, but I got you.
Yeah. And then, it's blanked out anyway. And then this offense mod has, again, offense with offense, and the percentage is almost 5%, and it can be rolled again.
Hello, Lauren. You let those nuts speak for you. Is that how that works?
And then there's 5 more rolls that can happen on this mod.
Should I address them?
And they could go offense, or speed, with protection possibly. So this is a really, really, really good mod. Even though it's only got 5 speed, I'm kind of hoping that it hits offense, percentage, and then speed 4 more times. That would be awesome. That would be really, really, really cool. It probably won't, but ideally, that would be awesome. Ideally do. And then I've got this one. It has offense with offense and 19 speed. I could still get up to 24 speed on this. 25 speed actually, because it could roll a +6 potential. So 25 speed possible. And then of course the percentage could, trip. And the offense, 49 flat offense is a great flat offense start. When you look at your beginning flat offense, not that flat offense is the best. You want percentage when you get into relics, but
it adds something, but not a lot of something.
Yeah, when you're low, it's flat. When you're high, it's percentage that you want. But flat offense isn't bad. Obviously, to get double offense is always the best because you get flat and percentage combined is the best case scenario. But flat goes anywhere from like 25 to 50. You know what I mean? It's like that range.
So much over that.
So if you can get to like the closer to like 50 you can get on flat, the better. So 49 flat's great. And then I put a health stat because everyone recommends health, and I've got the offense right here. And then of course it had 19 speed, could be, pop to 25 there. And then critical damage. And then it has 21 and it could go to 27. Because it can get another 6, so that could go to 27, and it had percentage offense again. So this has potential for the set, but I got to roll all of these like a lot. So I need all that
when
material.
You actually need a health set for somebody though, because health mods do tend to give you a little bit nicer secondaries. But there's the health mod. They're always like you got 1,500 of them and you never need any of them. But when you actually have the character actually needs them, it's nice.
Yeah,
like good because I can actually roll them worthwhile.
I really need like this material. Unfortunately, this is like super rare, of course, so kind of stinks. I've got a little bit of all the other stuff, but 86 of the third and 153 of the fourth. So that's good, but I just don't have, it's the crux. It's the crux of the matter. So he's modded,
or the hux of the matter.
He's modded with potential, but this is the other thing. You get into the high-end guilds and they're like, you got to have this set for this and this set for that. And I'm like, oh my God, teams have to have 2 sets of mods? Like, that's a lot of damn work, But
hey, Obi Frankie, when you grow up, and whenever that ends up being, I hope you do have a beard like mine. If not better, thicker, fuller.
Yeah.
The other thing if you don't end up getting it, trends go so quickly these days in cycles, it's about every 5 years or so.
The other thing that surprised me was their abilities. Galactic Legends only have 3 levels? What in the heck? Did you guys, you all probably knew this.
They go from mediocre to bam, that's what you really want.
Well, no, it's just weird. Normally every character has like 7 levels and then, it's like, purple material and then, Zeta, purple material and then Zeta. But these guys are just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was like, that is so freaking weird. That is so weird. Like all of them.
The 1, 2, 3 punch.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't really look like it actually starts off with a basic.
That melted in my mouth. That was amazing.
They were made with especially good crack today. Made of a fresh batch.
They are addicting. I'll try not to chew in their ear.
Do you guys really want to know what kind of donuts they are?
What is that called? SMR?
ASMR.
Yeah. ASMR with Warrior.
For all you weirdos out there. I like the tingles. I like the way it makes me feel. It makes my hair
can't stand it. I don't know why or how like people like ASMR. I'm sorry, but I just now ASMR makes me want to like murder fools.
Occasionally there will be a sensation that will get the hair on the back of my neck to stand up. It's not usually random sounds of, chicks whispering into microphones while tapping on bottles. It's usually, like that demon over in the corner about to attack me. It's that horrible dream that I just woke up from. So bringing that back around doesn't always invoke some kind of a nice, cozy feeling.
Yeah.
But I'm also just annoyed by that, too, because it's a trendy thing and it gets views. And, again, as long as you're bending over the microphone to show plenty of cleavage, oh, yeah, plenty of people watch your videos. They could care less about what you're tapping on.
Hold on, that works?
Yeah, right?
Here you guys go. No, they don't
Short
want
of
to
doing something really drastic to my body, like creating a mental illness and, mutilating myself, I'm not going to go there, so.
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Oh, sorry. Was I plugging something again?
Let me see. Let's stun that. Wait, why is it 1x speed? Dang it. And
because you like slow-mo blasters.
Pew, pew, pew. I like doing my own special effects, though, for the show. Let's breach this guy. Ugh, no breach. Okay, let's breach him. No breach. Come on. Stupid.
I'm not sure what that was in reference to, Onion Crisp, but I'll let that hang there for a little while. It'll come back around to me. I'm sure I'll get it in a second. Like, oh, because he said this, and yeah, I made the connection now.
Can't believe the breach isn't sticking.
Ooh, Bastrac's going to be unlocking his first Galactic Legend by the end of the month. Rock on.
Yeah?
It'll be Jedi Master Luke. Awesome choice. The sleeping giant of the group.
Oh, breach. Finally,
RSG Vormax is here saying what's up to us and wants to know, how much did you spend gearing up your tunes to be able to unlock Supreme Leader Kylo Ren?
Well, the gear wasn't the problem. It was it was the stars.
I saw your stocks. I saw your reserves.
Yeah, I had a great amount of gear, actually. So it was very little gear, gear 12, and it was only a few $100s for gear 12 pieces and a couple gear 12 plus pieces. Actually 100% of all the gear up to gear 11 through to click over to gear 12, I had already 100% of it. Not any that I need below gear 12. When I hit gear 12 for all the characters, and then I bought a couple. Wow, this was a bad idea to bring him in there. I was hoping he'd keep breach on forever, but they refused to be breached.
Well, sometimes this game really doesn't like to go along with its own rules that it's set for itself, you know. We've all experienced this. And Onion Crisp, okay, I'm with you now. I get it. All right. The ASMR stuff, all right.
Yeah, ASMR, I believe.
Oh, Matt B is joining us from Taiwan.
Whoa.
Do they say don't? I was about to say domo arigato. Whoa.
What just happened here?
I'll say, what's a typical greeting from people in Taiwan? Go ahead, type it out for us real quick.
Wow, that was a pretty neat hit.
It's all pretty neat when it works the way it's supposed to.
This is a super slow-mo.
Knicker Snicker, what up from Denver, y'all? Oh, I'm
nice.
so sorry. I'm so sorry. It's almost as bad as California these days. But, you know, I'm sure you probably found a good spot and you're happily living there, so.
I enjoy visiting Denver. There's a lot of fun stuff to do in Denver when it's not shut down. I do love Denver. I love hanging out.
I love Denver. I almost love as much seeing it disappear in my rearview mirror.
I'm getting totally windinged. Bam, 144. I love this event when you bring in the right team.
Hey, it looks like you pulled it off.
Well, I was hoping to just keep the taunt up and then wind up my Kylo ship a bunch and then do these 300,000 hits. I've done it before. It's really, really fun. But then I did not get any breach, and that did not work out exactly the way I was expecting it.
Oh, Knicker Snicker was in Junction for 5 years. Yes, it's a little bit weird, but have you ever been to Rangeley? We call it Strangely for a reason. But yeah, definitely a different breed out here for sure. They're about half to 75% on my level, so, you know, I can enjoy that. Ooh, 125 in the morning, Matt B.
Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
Glad you could be here for us.
There you go.
Shorts weather. Oh, that's right. They are
272,000 on that hit.
Aren't they?
272,000. That was a pretty neat hit. That's what I like to do. I like to let everybody else not do anything and just protect the Kylo ship on this event, just to let the event drag on. Because I'm like a
draw it out.
Yeah, just to draw it out. But like let him like wind up and keep getting more and more stacking offense, and then let him destroy every ship as he gets higher and higher. His basic, by the end of it, his basic's doing a couple 100,000, and his special can get up to almost 500,000 if you do it right. Which that one only did about 272. So.
Somebody asked earlier if we were watching Mandalorian Season 2, and abso-freaking-lutely, Skywalker Vader.
Mandalorian? Why would we watch that? That's
Why would we
silly.
ever bother with such a thing? It's such a horrible show.
It's kind of a dumb show.
I hate the fact that they're fixing Star Wars and that they're retconning the sequels and that they're bringing back worthwhile characters and they're just making it right with the fans now. I hate all of that. Just couldn't stand it. Grogu's pretty cool, too.
Grogu. Don't you hate when you click on the crystals like this and hit it and you're doing it too fast and they take your crystals and don't give you your energy? Yeah,
love it.
That's a thing, by the way. It really does happen. You got to go slow.
Back on The Mandalorian, whoever saw the last episode, who else got a bobogasm?
Wow.
Else?
Yeah, I think everyone. I just love that they confirmed Legends and made it canon. I love when they do that. By the way, check that out. Stream, thank you, everybody, for being cool like that. Being cool like that.
It's all because of you for what kind of drops he gets.
It's all because of you. Stream, people. They're like, stop it. Please stop. Please. For the love of God.
I'm going to try this one more time because I think last live stream I made an attempt here. Is it these virile general? The several general?
The several general.
Several general? How many generals in which do you speak of? Hello there.
Is this several? No, I'm back to 144 exactly. And then ships. I'm doing really well. I've got this one to 6-star, which I needed. And then Hyena, and then I'm working towards the Imperial TIE Bomber. He's the one I need for C. Do you see?
Matt B, I like your enthusiasm there and your optimism, but where in the world, other than America, do we have a free democracy?
The world is
that rates higher than the U.S. and Canada?
There you go. I got 2 of them because that ship is stupid.
I'd like to see or hear about this mythical place you speak of. That's the funny thing about a lot of people don't understand is once America's gone, once we destroy everything that it was, there's nowhere left to go. But
all right.
If you found this place, please let me know.
Let's do mod battles. Let me get some mod pieces of materials. All right. Let's get some ship material.
I'm sure there's a lot of wives out there watching their husbands watch The Mandalorian going, what is wrong with you?
Oh, we got to go ships because I got to use my ship material first for the Rebel Y-Wing. Bloop. Still farming this because I want to get it obviously to completion. Sounds like they fixed the double drops. Did you hear about that? The way that works is they couldn't fix it. So instead of fixing it, they're going to just basically increase. So there's like I think it's a 5% chance that you get a full character unlock, or it's a 2% chance. I can't remember which. It's like a 2 or a 5% chance that when you're doing a Bronzium pack that you get a full unlock of a character. They're gonna take the percentage and double it. So now you'll have twice the chance of getting a full character unlock. So if let's say you get
what characters are worthwhile in there though?
Well, let's just say you get doesn't matter. Let's say you get a snow trooper. Let's say you get a snow trooper unlock that's 10 shards once a month. Now you're gonna get statistically 2 snow troopers once a month, so you're going to get twice as many shards. So it'll work itself out. RNG sometimes will screw you. RNG will sometimes will bless you. So getting twice the character drops, in my opinion, will probably work in your favor because the character drops are randomized, and so instead of getting like a snow trooper and a royal guard, you might get a royal guard. Instead of Royal Guard times 2, you'll get a Royal Guard, and then you'll get a Mace Windu, and that's an 80. And so you might actually get more than double. So it actually could work in our favor. You know what I mean? Or you might get a Mace and then a Royal Guard, and that might not work in your favor. But either way, I think it's going to play itself out, and it's as good as they can. So that's good. And then, the Beskar Mandalorian was a total slip on the forums. What happened was they were talking on the forums, tickety, and they were like talking about when is that update going to roll out. And the whatever his name is, Dojo, CG Dojo, whatever, was like typing back, just passively, casually talking to the group and said, whenever we release next week the Beskar Mando, that's when we're going to do that release. And then he went, ooh, and deleted it. Well, there's another.
Not going to happen now.
Someone was like, "Say what?" And then they deleted it. Well, then there's a website, Star Wars Galaxy Heroes events, and they literally screenshot like every single thing that happens on the forums. It's as for like
they're policing it.
not just even policing it. They like screenshot all of it for like continuity of memory.
Right. We saw you say it. We're not lying.
Yeah. And so that is, they have it. And so, they could
They
The
could
best
just
thing for them,
oh, nope, that's it. We're changing the whole event now.
best thing for them to do is just to come out and be like, yeah, okay, so it's happening.
Yeah,
at
okay,
this
so we
point.
slipped up. Here you go.
Yeah, I always wait for the energy to finish before I click because I don't want to lose my crystals. This thing.
Sean Cotter, New Zealand, is that mythical place? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard some pretty horrible things about their stances on guns out there. So wouldn't call it that place.
For this, by the way, relics. See, I'm low on relic material. I just blasted.
For once, no.
I just blasted a bunch of people into relics. Is why. But the ooh, that's a nice droppy drop. We're gonna focus on number 1 today, so I don't spend any of it. Do you ever do that? Do you ever just buy a bunch of one type and not the others, so you don't get like greedy and start leveling up people that you shouldn't be leveling up right now? You're like, okay, I got to get into the couple hundreds, so I'm going to get this into a couple hundred, and then I'll move to the next one. So.
Colonel Jansen has a good point. Says he's not sure about that Beskar Mando drop. He said maybe they were just trying to increase excitement for it. It was a strategic slip up.
You think? I don't know. They wouldn't have tried to delete that if that was the case. I think if it was fake.
They thought someone was watching in that regard, they would throw it out there real quick and be like, ooh, convenient delete after about 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks away, looks back.
They're funny like that. I think they do sometimes try to, create excitement, but normally it's with intentional, undertoned verbiage in where they have a response where they're like, they use things like, we'll be fixing that in a Beskar moment. You know what I mean? Where it's like a play on
Super
words.
cheesy and
then
very
they
overt.
leave that as their response, and you're like, what do they mean by a Beskar moment?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they would do. Not like, oh, that's next week after that. Because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing sometimes, and they're like, he thinks they've already told the community, because they're like, in one meeting they said, oh, we'll tell the community on Friday. And then the next meeting he wasn't in, they were like, we're going to push that back from Friday to Wednesday. And then he wasn't there, or he forgot. And then he goes out and he just says that in the comment because he forgot that it was pushed back or wasn't in that other meeting that. So then they're like, oh, we pushed that back. You got to go delete that. And he's like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that was. I really do believe that we're getting another one. But I think he'll be a kind of like a Jedi Knight Luke event.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Could be a
cool,
bit
but
more
kind of
intense to
stinks
try and
because
get.
I'm not going to be ready for that. And then you'll have to wait, I think 6 months.
I've got some interesting theories on the Mandalorian himself, just as far as what they're doing in the show, why they got Grogu with him, why there's so much talk about the Force. He's shown different aspects of being Force sensitive in the show. So, with the Darksaber being around, are we talking about trying to bring out another Jedi Mandalorian? I mean, just a thought. I mean, he's awfully old to start the training, but it's a possibility. Not sure where we're going to go with that, but
so
my interest is piqued. Sean Cotter, man, learn something new every day. I need to look into that. Apparently, there's a few other countries I need to look into if things continue to go the direction they are here in a good old US of A.
All right. So Jedi Knight Luke is the activity is not available, but I'm ready to rock and roll. Have been for quite some time. That did not take me long to get there, by the way. We revisit this every week, but I was ready to rock and roll within a few
on
weeks.
the way before
By
this,
the way,
yeah.
I've been playing now for over 2 months now. I can't even believe I've been back for over 2 months. It just kind of boggles my mind.
Never thought we'd see the day.
I know.
I kind of did.
Part of September, all of October, all of November, and now into December. So, and then, the prerequisites were easy. So I'm ready to go. When he comes, I really just right now what I'm doing is prepping my gear and my relic material. He's my next priority. So when I get him, I can get him. Because
Let's get him for him.
Yeah, because the prerequisites, I'm 14 of 15, and the only one I'm missing is Jedi Knight Luke. So I literally can start Jedi Master Luke's event
As soon as you get the one piece.
The second I get him, and he's coming in December. He's coming sometime in the next 2 weeks. So I just need Jedi Knight Luke's event to come back, for me to unlock him, for me to max him out. I've got everything I need to get him to Gear 12, and then I'll need some Gear 12 pieces and then the relic material. And I don't believe I have all of his Gear 12 or relic material. So that's going to be the crux of it. It might take a little bit of time on that. But other than that, I'll then get him done, and then we'll go get him. And then of course there's the journey of getting light side material. The good news is everything I'm farming is on light side nodes. I've got a couple ships and a couple characters I'm still farming, and they're all on light side nodes. So everything I'm farming will naturally give me the materials I need for his event. So that'll be kind of congruency at its finest. That'll be great.
That'll flow nicely.
Yeah, because as I'm farming everything that I'm naturally farming, it will naturally give me the materials I need for him. So that's this. I'm just waiting at this point. But because I was just waiting for this, and by the way, I was sitting here about 10 days ago. So I was like, well, what do I do now? Because I just knew on the 5th that they were going to have Luke come back. I mean, it makes sense, right? December 5th. That's always such a funny thing in our game. I just was like, well, there's nothing on the event board. I was like, man, I bet you they're going to bring it back. It's 88 days in. That's 90 days. I bet you they're going to bring it back on that day. And they didn't. I was like,
surely did not.
So
it seemed to only make sense at that point. I was kind of thinking, oh, hey, yeah, good call. Oh, well, apparently not.
Yeah.
Yet again, sometimes in the Star Wars universe, oh, the fans want this? No.
So I was like, okay, so that's on hold. So then I was like, well, I better go over to Sith Eternal and see where I'm at with this bad boy. By the way, I need to get
see where you want to go to the bottom of the deep blue sea.
So I do need to get him up in relics. I think I'm pretty close. I think I'm like his finisher away, maybe. Because the trooper, they're like, put this on defense. I'm like, well, he's only gear 12. They're like, well, that sucks, but that's what is assigned for your defense team. I'm like,
you run what you brung, huh?
Yeah. Poor Team Instinct got to deal with that. I've got, that
good to see you too, Obi-Jon.
And then it's 9 of 15 with Sith Eternal, and everything is relics. Everything is relics. So I was like, well, that is amazing, because the only thing that wasn't relics was the one dude, Piet, and I got him finally to 7 stars. I was able to focus on him, get him to 7 stars, and then get him knocked into relics. So now it's just relic material for a bunch of fools. So I'm focused on relics for Vader and Piet first. Once they're relicked, then I'm going to move into Sidious, Dooku, and Marauder. But I'm going to do Dooku's first since it's relic 6. And then I'll do Marauder and Sidious. And then the Imperial TIE Bomber, I almost have the Imperial TIE Bomber unlocked at 4 stars, and then I'll have the 5-star to 6-star move. So I've got basically, I've got basically a little bit more for the ship. The ship has not been dropping very well.
Nope.
Hopefully RNG gives me some love over the next little bit. So I'm a little bit held back due to relics and due to the ship on him, but that's okay, because honestly, I don't really want to be doing 2 GLs at the exact same time. That's a lot of divided. You don't want to try and divide and conquer on these two. You really want to go.
You really want to hyper focus.
Yeah, you really want to hyper focus when you're going for those materials to try to get one of their, abilities maxed out and stuff. So anyway, I really want to focus on farming.
Hyper focus, not hyper drive bundle. Don't get the two mixed. No.
Yep, and then of course, so those two, I should have him as soon as I get Lukey Luke over here done. Then I'll get Master Luke done, and that should take 3 weeks ish. So 1 or 2 weeks for him to come back, and 3 weeks for him. So we're 5 weeks out for those 2 characters, and then I can focus on C. So getting really close to these 2 featured GLs being done, maybe within the next 6, 7, I would say 7 weeks, I could probably have the next 2 GLs done. That's really, really, really close, honestly. Probably 7 weeks, maybe 8.
It's really clutch.
December, January. By the end of January, I actually should have basically every character in the game unlocked except for Kiadi, Mundi, and Rey.
Nice.
By the end of January, I should be basically set. And then the only thing I'll have a problem with is Rey, Kiadi Mundi, and my mods.
Yeah.
because this is going to just create a bigger
new chapter.
This will just create a bigger mod problem for me, because I'm already stretched thin. They're like, this guy needs to be this speed, and I'm I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. I'm stealing mods off this guy. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. Who do I take from? I
actually use that character too.
Yeah, who do I take from?
I hate that in Territory Wars, because if you want to remod a whole team the way you want to, you steal a bunch of mods off your worthwhile teams that are somewhere else you're going to be setting a defense, and now they're worthless and can't be used.
Yeah, so then you go and you look, and so these all at the top 5 are needed for C, and then I need Luke for Master Luke. So that top row is for C. That one
Yeah,
Jedi Knight Luke is for the
a
others.
rebel, but not a rebel.
And then those
Jedi
2
Master
resistance
Luke, who is a-
heroes are just for farming purposes. Light side because I can farm them, but I already have the gear 11. And just like that, if you look, I have gears just sitting around. Like, I mean, look at this.
waiting.
Yeah, like I can build stuff. You know what I mean? Like I have the stuff. I have 4 of these power cells built, and I have stuff to build more power cells.
People are still wondering if you're free to play now or if you're whaling at all. You're somewhere in between, aren't you?
I can build stuff here. I'm in between. I mean,
Yeah, Dark Stanley.
I've been
He mini whaled. Yeah, for sure.
mini whale. I did spend a little bit, but it's not like the old
He
days.
swam with the whales for a little bit, but then he pulled off, because he's a loner like that.
Yeah, not like the old days for sure, but
Hello,
definitely,
Nev.
definitely a little bit. You can't get all the relic material that you need without doing a little bit of that.
I love this word salad here. I have to say his name just because it's cool. Darth Baka 009.
Darth Baka. Oh yeah, Darth Baka. Darth Baka was a patron for a very long time.
Nice.
Yeah.
He is almost to his first Galactic Legend, which is Kylo. Very
Cool.
nice.
So
Well
let's
done.
take him for a.
Richard Monroe wants to know if we think that we might get a new Boba Fett. I would say probably yes, the way that they're trying to release new content in the game, and because he's fresh and the Mandalorian's so hot right now, I would say it's a good possibility. Yes, they're pretty big fans of the Bounty Hunters tag, so they've really been going nuts with that. And when they have yet another one to come out, they really like having multiples of the same character too, as we've seen early on from the Hans and the Chewies. So I think it's a good possibility. Yes.
All right.
BB ate my homework.
Yeah.
Got some clever people in here today, I tell you. Got 2 Galactic Legends unlocked, free to play, and almost farming my 3rd. Wow, goodness. That is some hypervigilance right there.
I know the. Let's see. He's getting his ultimate a little higher, but this should give my ultimate higher than his. Almost. This will do it. Wow. My ultimate's higher now.
Ooh, what is this GAC Center or GA Center you guys are speaking of? Grand Arena Championship Center? Grand Arena Champion Enter?
He's going to go into his ultimate first.
Ruh-roh, there goes the helmet.
But he only gets it
Don't
for
drop
one.
that, man. That thing's already been destroyed once before.
Yeah, he only gets it for 1 turn.
Wah, wah.
And then,
Poke.
yep.
Jab. Stick. Thrust. Parry.
Don't kill me.
Steve.
Oh,
Parry.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, see? Learn something new every day. Didn't know that you could choose that option that early on.
Yeah, you can. This is the problem, is you have to do it at the right time.
Or
See, if I would have done 1 more turn, I would have got the 2 turn. And doing it at 2 turns, I always win. If I do it at the 1 turn, I always lose.
yeah.
That's my learn. If I do it on the 1 turn, I lose. If I wait for the 3 turns, I lose. If I do it at the 2 turn, I always win.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the GA Center or the GAC Enter is sorry,
GAC Center, GAC.
Multi-content provider
I'm
competition in GAC.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm learning for that for sure. And the thing is, and I'm learning this too, you really want your entire team to crit. Obviously, advantage goes up on people, and that is like a guaranteed crit, so that helps. That's why you want that. But
Nice,
my
Nev.
team is
I like
slow
I like
right
the
now.
theme you got going on there. Should catch that sometime.
I need to speed up my team so he gets to his ultimate faster. Because my team's definitely slower than a lot of these teams. I focused more on offense, so I notice I'm going second. And look at all these, they've had a chance to
A few rolls.
roll their mods a little bit more. But look, he went offense and health just like
Just a few
I did.
rolls, but you shouldn't do ecstasy. It's bad for you. It's bad for your brain. Don't do that.
Wow, 6% offense.
Drugs are bad, okay.
That's a good one. 6% offense and then 98 offense on the main. So that's a really great mod right there.
Percentages and flat.
Yeah, 6%. That's
Flat
amazing.
stacks. Good morning, Frank
25
Brown.
speed. That's
Good
good.
morrow.
Let's see what this one is. 22 speed. That's great with 145 flat. 27 speed. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
JP Star Killer. That's all you're gonna hear is these 2 turntables and a microphone.
Let's see what this one is. Crit damage, 11 speed, almost 3%. Wow, look at that. 12% defense. That's kind of an interesting combo for him, for sure. Protection.
That's pretty
offense, health,
neat.
and speed. Let's see what his total offense is. That's pretty good. His speed's pretty good. 535, I suppose. I mean, it's not super fast at all, but I had mine.
Apparently, Nev knows his stuff on Grand Arena Championships and Kyber League. So
he does.
Should look into that for sure.
Yeah, I had my speed around 600,
the time too.
and everyone said, slow your ass down. I don't want to excuse my language. They were like, slow it down because you want your speed slower, but your offense at over 12K. So I was like, okay. So I put my...
It's all about speed. It's all about speed. Except for this character, slow him down a little bit because, wait, what?
So I got my damage over 12K. My damage was over 12K, but I lose because I'm slower. So I don't know. It's a balancing act for sure. His offense is only 11.4. Mine's like 12.
Just made mods all that much more important. I mean, they were key before, but...
Yeah, that's a fast
an absolute
non-speed
must now.
set for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're naturally fast
damage.
anyways, but yeah, over 500 speed, just ridiculous, which isn't it funny, you know,
With all the-
over 500 speed, but yet numerous situations where you happen to have that situation and that advantage and you don't get to go first. Riddle me this. Riddle me this.
Okay, well, I lost on that. That was fun. That was pretty neat. Let's go do a ship
Nev
spell.
wants you in the next season, which starts in 5 weeks for GAC Center.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Nifty Kino.
I really need to get my Ahsoka ship, get Ahsoka up to Relic 7 so she's more durable. I have her only, I think, Relic 5, but I'm like, I don't want to spend any Relic material to take her to 7. She's just so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Zephan Kellen is saying that his crew has like 400 speed and he wins against 511 plus speed teams.
Yeah.
Where's the sense in that? Makes no sense. I mean, yeah, it's cool. You figured it out, but again, it always annoys me when a game sets parameters and rules and then goes about breaking them all the time. Kind of like our politicians. Start with Huck's mass assist to get ultimate up. You can't while they have advantage. Okay.
Start with what?
He said start with Huck's with the mass assist
The mass assist instead of passing the
to
turn?
get the ultimate up.
The mass assist first. Interesting. Okay, I'll try that. I always pass so I could get more stacks on my Kylo because I thought, he gets to do his mad plunge.
His parry thrust.
Yeah, his parry thrust, and that gives him more stacks. I thought the more stacks would be probably a better bet.
Nev's just going to keep on talking until you join him. One of us. I
want
and
to,
you
but
will be Todd.
But you know what I hear when he says that is huge commitment to time. That's what I
yes.
hear. So if he can say
See,
that's
you interpret
not
things the way I do sometimes. I get invited to a lot of different things, and it's just like, yeah, that sounds really cool, and I appreciate the invite. I just know I have no time for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so apparently if you wait to pass turn meter to Kylo, you can do it when he has his ultimate available, and he can smash a couple of times in a row.
Hulk smash. Actually, I don't even need this. Let's just clear that foresight. I feel like even though this is like supposedly a really, really good combo because you can't target that ship, it's really a poor combo in my opinion for this. I do. I feel like it's a... Because it's... bombs and stuff make a pretty good...
Impact,
yeah. And then it's just cleanup on aisle, stupid.
Cleanup on Isle Grievous. Paulo, I don't think it takes an insane amount of time, to be honest. Well, you don't know our schedules. Hey, Matt Garcia, good to see you.
Garcia, good to see you.
Don't need to go into detail, just a yes or no. Question, do you think your farming guide is still holistic with all recent additions?
Yes and no. I mean, for any beginner basic person, it is because it really gets you those beginner characters. Goodbye. It gets you those.
And done.
Yeah, it gets you those beginner characters that really, for any free-to-player, you have to have those foundational characters. It gets you, Thrawn, and it gets you, Yoda, and it gets you, your Phoenix Squad for ships, and which you have to get Han's Millennium Falcon, and you've got to get bounty hunters, and it gets you the foundational core, and it still focuses on the Revens, and the Revens are really the core for free to play. I mean,
you could almost just change the title to beginner guide.
Yeah, but if you're like going to just start out playing and be a whale, like, you didn't need my free-to-play guide to begin with ever anyway, so you're going to do what you want. And so because you're going to do what I don't care, I do what I want. If you're going to be like that anyway, like, just use the built-in game guide that's in the game. You know what I mean? It tells you what characters you need to whale on, and it gives you, it actually gives you a shop button. You can click on shop and just buy out the shop and go get all the characters you need and whale out on the characters and buy the hyperdrive bundle and buy all the characters and gear all the gear and, get all the relic material. And so if you're a whale, you don't need it. But for any free-to-player, you really need all those basal characters that I talk about. And Galactic Legends are so ridiculously long, grindy for free-to-player that you should really not worry about them to start. You should have them in the back of your mind, and you should be like, I want Kylo. And so you should be thinking about that. I want so-and-so. But you should be thinking about your trajectory to that eventuality, but you should be focused more on that early to mid game that's going to get you more towards, because the Revens are still amazing, and there are still, you still have to have a Jedi team, and you still have to, there's so much.
Unfortunately, that includes Galactic Legends and Jedi Knight Luke, but
so it's just, I would say, yes, it's absolutely still viable for the vast majority of free players to get you going from the, first year to 2 years. But then, Galactic Legends do kind of kick in, and once you kind of get going and know what you're doing, then you've got to decide, from there, where you want to go after you kind of get your feet under you, if you will.
Nev's really practicing his ABCs here, man. He's always be closing.
I know, right?
They've got Arnold, Cubs, DB125, Hinsey, Bulldog, and many, many other names in our league.
Yeah. So let me try his AoE. Let's try it again, but I'll do the mass assist to get up the...
Garcia, great yes or no answer. Yes, it's still relevant to paraphrase. Crew getting a smackdown early on. But we go with the parry thrust and an assist.
Hey, my guy did more damage.
He's heating up.
Okay.
He's on fire. Mass assist on Faust. Good old first order stormtrooper. Oh, looks like there's more questions in here somewhere. Did I miss anything? Let me go back here.
Hey, that worked a whole hell of a lot better, just for the record.
Ooh, an avocado. Thanks. Oh, wow.
He's going to do his one turn. He only gets this for one turn.
Focus, Hux. I think Hux is focusing. Look at him. He's all bending over, intently looking like, here we go. I don't care if you win or not.
He's starting all over.
Make sure you take out Kylo Ren.
Oh. That was one hell of a hit.
Bam.
What? I should have gone into my ultimate. See there, because I was in the red, I should have gone into my ultimate. But that would have been for only one turn again. But I guess that would have made me win.
I should have hoped that would have lined up well. Darn you, Sinspire.
I was doing really well at the first half of that battle. These when to use the ultimate, I guess, is my big challenge.
Oh, I don't mean to discourage you, Nev. I was just poking
I was
fun.
at 2 turns. Everyone's saying I had
need.
2 turns. So when does it... Let me go back. I got to learn this because I'm brand new with this guy. I just got him yesterday. All right, let me You were on 80? I was on 80. Whoops, that's the wrong guy. I was at 88. Let me look at the thing.
You guys pay attention so well.
60% I get aggressive for 1. 85% I get it for 2. Oh, so I was at what? 80?
88%?
60, 80. No, it's 85.
Yeah, close enough.
I thought I was at 80. I was at 88. Oh, good, my eyes. In my eyes. I thought I was at 80. And yeah, it's at 85. So I thought I wasn't at my second turn. I wanted to go into the aggressive for 2 turns.
Shoulda, woulda.
You were at 88. Whoa, boo. I was at 2 aggressive stances. That was a guaranteed win.
Oh, rail.
Rare. That's okay. I'm just practicing right now. But so what else on that? So the first thing was on the mirror match, using the mass attack first instead of the passing the turn. That was a good suggestion. I like that because I had way more characters alive till the end. The second is, do you guys go into the single turn stance at all to just finish the battle, or does that not work? Do you like to go into this double stance, or what do you guys think about that?
Your thoughts? My condolences, Matt Garcia, for your father-in-law. It's no good. Yeah, for those few people that it actually affects in that way, it's deadly. It's that's the part we need to be worrying about for sure.
Kill Hux over red first. Got it. Okay. Not unless their SLK is in the red. Wow, sorry to hear about that. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that. Double or triple? You want 2 turns for the win. That's what I was thinking, because every time I go single, I lose. So I was like, that's why I want the double. But 85% is double. Okay. He won't health steal on you. Oh, yeah, that's right, Hux. Okay, does... I can't imagine returning Corey. It has been interesting using Kylo in Arena. What's funny is I haven't gotten number 1 in Arena, and I'm okay with that. What's weird is when I left, I had to be number 1 every day. Last night, I was with my wife and my one of my daughters, and we had something to do from like 3:30 to 6:30 for like 3 hours, and I didn't even think about the game at all. And I was busy that whole time. I didn't even climb for either arena, and who cares? And like, that's the way it should be, right? You should not worry about a game or crystals or anything like that. If you have real life, you should be able to go play, have a real life, do what is more important, and then come back and enjoy the game like we're doing right now. Before, I would have been anxiety ridden, been like in my meeting with my wife and my daughter, this is like a career changing moment for my 17-year-old. And I would have been like, I got to use the restroom. And like, I would have gone to the bathroom for like 15 minutes and done like a bunch of refreshes and a bunch of attacks. I don't even need to go.
I see the privacy.
And then what would have happened is, because of that and me rushing, I would have like lost and been like angry and wanting to break my phone and like anxiety ridden. And then I would have come back all like not, distracted and not like in the moment. And they'd have been like, what's wrong? And I just would have been like all just because I couldn't have climbed fast enough in both arenas. And the point is, like, when I left, I wasn't in a good headspace, and I should have left. Like, the whole point was it wasn't right for me. It wasn't right. I should have left. And so for Corey, you're right. When the time is not, when you're not having, it's a game. It's a game. Do you know what I mean? If you're not having fun with the game anymore, you gotta evolve. You gotta move on. But if you're turning it on and having fun, then it's a game. That's the whole point of it. The second time around, so far, I've been able to pick it up, keep it pretty lazy, play, have fun. You can go look at SWGOH.gg. My ranks in both arenas are very inconsistent. I do hit number 1 a lot in ships because it's pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of resistance and not a whole lot of people care about ships. So it's pretty easy to get number 1 every day because I can kind of climb a few hours prior, jump in the last, within about an hour or so. But if I've got life, who cares? Like, I think I got 31st yesterday in ships. You know what I mean? I think I got
On a different day?
50,
Now? Whatever.
Yeah, 50 or 100 crystals, whatever it is for that.
I was trying to maintain my above 100 status in Arena for a while there, and I was just like, I fall back to 1,000 pretty regularly.
Yeah. So I have to maintain that objectivity in my life. And
Definitely had to switch it over to playing the game for fun as opposed to being competitive. I mean, for a while there I was slightly competitive, but majority of the time I've been playing this game has just been entertainment value, which thank goodness for my guild in that sense, because they've been very patient with me in a lot of respects for that.
Yeah. Now when I first came back, the one thing I've wailed on two things. I wailed first on the Mando characters. There was a pack when I first came back. There was a pack that gave you all 3 of the Mando characters, and it gave you like 10 minimum of each character that you needed, and I had none of those characters. And so you could do one pack for like 1,200 crystals, and you got 30 shards of all 3 characters you needed, guaranteed. And sometimes it would like land 30 crystal or 30 shards of a specific character. And it was like popping on different characters. It was one of the best packs I ever had bought. And so I wailed. It was a couple $100, but I got 3 characters out of it. I've never done that before. That was one of the best things I ever did. It was when I first came back. I got Cara Dune to 7 stars out of that. And you can see all the gear I had. See, I got Cara to gear 12 with 4 pieces without even trying. I got Mando to 3 pieces, gear 12, 3 pieces without even trying. I got Grief Karga to gear 12 with 3 pieces if I want. I didn't put those pieces on because those pieces are needed for someone else. But he's sitting there pretty. So I did that. That was a couple $100. And then I've spent a few hundred on relic material, because relic material is, wow. When you start going for GLs, oh my gosh. Like, wow. It is.
It's suddenly just as relevant as gear.
It is. That is definitely the new paywall. And SEE, the new Sith Emperor.
Sith Eternal Emperor, Palpatine.
He is the worst.
Mr. Dope.
So far of all. I mean, I know for Ray will be the worst for me, but for everybody, for all of them, SEE's the worst. Because, SEE has the most Relic 7 prerequisites of any character, and that's ridiculous. Like, Relic 7 is a very difficult task. It really digs deep into your core pieces, not the ones you can farm, but the ones you can't farm for, the ones you have to like convert basal energy to, and those you just eventually run out of. And at some point, it's just like, I'm done. I don't have any more of those materials. And then you have to either wait 1,000,000 years or you have to buy them with crystals.
Buy or farm 1,000,000 years.
So, and by the time SEE comes out, there's already been 2 Galactic Legends. And so for a lot of people, if you're getting SEE, you're definitely wailing, because there's just no way you can convert you don't have enough gear to convert to get the Relic 7 material. There's just no way. So you've got to, spend crystals to get.
Relic 7 on one character is hard enough as it is, but multiple characters to get the prerequisites to even get the.
Yeah, because
Sith
this,
Eternal.
like when you come to it, like it's this material right here. You know what I mean? The Electrum. Yeah. Or this right here.
Get me started on the Zen Biddles.
Yep. Or this one's even worse.
Yeah.
This one goes up to 40 on one whack, 30 and then 40. That's 70 pieces just in the last 2 rounds. 70 pieces of this in the last 2 rounds. And when you're converting that, this is very difficult to get pieces of. I mean, I just went and crunched a ton of gear to get 117, a ton of gear, and I didn't have much to crunch. So
it's always great when you can go get that low level gear they got 5,000 of and just chew through a bunch of that. But when you get into the higher end gear for the higher end pieces, it's like, well, yeah, you only got 30 or so to begin with anyways. You're not going to sit there and turn that all over into relic material unless you really need it.
Yep.
Matt B, don't want to leave you hanging on that. I feel like it is always appropriate to pray, but I know that's not what everybody came here for, so we'll probably leave that up to you. Anybody else who feels the need to do so. Yes, the useless pieces that could eventually be turned into relic materials.
I was going to say, at this point, I've always done that my entire life. So, and then I come down here for the ship, because the ship is going slow enough that I always look to see if there is the ship I need, just to see. And then I do get him, because the ship converts, and then I looking for here for gear. Now, I've said this a lot on the stream, but not everybody always hears it. These last 3 slots, this slot right here, this slot right here, and this slot right here, right before Young Han Solo, are really high-end pieces of gear. They're most of the time fully crafted pieces, and occasionally it drops a particular fully crafted piece that's worth 300 in the store when you're crafting relics. So when you're looking, you should always look at these last 3 slots, because they're a lot of times the fully crafted, and they're pieces that you can smash down and get high-end relic material from. So you should I always try to buy these out. They're real cheap. The guild store currency comes in hard and fast for most people. You can build, you
most
can
active people.
Yeah, you can get 5 at a time of a lot of these pieces, like this one. And then this stuff you can go into the store. So like Mark 6 Blast Tech weapon mod. I don't know how well that one converts, but there's a few of them in these last 3 slots that convert at very high rates, or higher than normal rates, because they're fully crafted pieces that you're buying. And so the blue disc is the piece. Yes, Scott knows what I'm talking about. That blue disc.
Those darn blue
that
discs.
That blue disc is the
those
stuff.
Laptops, those
it's
stun
cheap.
guns, those Carbantes, those
the
those
blue
eyeballs.
disc. He knows what I'm talking about. That blue disc that's in one of these last 3 slots popped up occasionally. I buy it, and I noticed, because I was going in and I was like, "Ooh, that's high value," and I have like 50 of those. I never use them. I like crushed them all, and I went back in here and I saw it was down to like 10, and I was like, I always have over 50 of everything. Why is that at 10? And I was like, oh, that's right. I just crushed those. So I started buying it up again, and this was a while back.
Where did those go? Oh yeah, there's a use for them now.
And so it's like one of those things you should just always be buying, always be buying those, for sure. The other thing is, you can go into a character, like when they release a new marquee character or something, and when you're gearing up the character, pause and fully craft 100 of each item as you go to the next level, fully craft, like even with those like crappy pieces, the ones you have like 8,000 of this piece and 8,000 of this piece, and then it fully crafts to another piece. Fully craft that piece, like 500 of it, because those fully crafted pieces, not all of them, but some of them give you a higher conversion rate. And it only takes a few minutes anyway to just go convert. You know what I mean? You can even use
download the app. Yeah.
You can use an auto clicker if you need to, but when it goes to relics, sometimes that pays off to have those fully crafted pieces in play. So, and definitely I do that with the Mark III hollow projectors, the shower drains, for sure.
Of which I still need a lot of right now.
Yeah. Get the ships. I do look in here for mods, but there's almost nothing ever in here worthy of a purchase.
Yeah, there's that one
They seem like
occasionally.
they never roll from here. If they're from here, they seem like they're all, even if they show speed, they seem like they always roll like trash. I don't know.
Oh, look, you're lucky enough to get speed on this one. It's going to stay right there.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever got anything out of here that's worthy of anything.
Worthy of repute, of note.
Mark 4.
Mark 7 Ba Armor Mod. Gear 5 Ugnaught is the real MVP. Lots of love for the low characters, I tell you. Gamorrean Guard.
Yeah.
Cup. Only buy speed arrows from that store. Yeah, that's true. I guess I've seen, with the arrows, if it's a speed primary, obviously it's going to be worthwhile. For somebody, for some situation.
Somebody come get her.
Yeah.
All right.
For some tune over here.
Yeah. So I've got Grand Arena going. We've got the we've got the Territory War coming up here soon. And then
Grand Arena, so you can live stream it, so you can send it off to Nev.
I know, right? I know that's what he definitely wants. I'm gonna try, but I definitely wanted to kind of get a couple more Galactic Legends, so I have a few more of the teams. I also need to kind of get my basal knowledge
get some
back
Galactic
up.
for GAC.
Yep. So Matthew Garcia, I'm going grocery shopping. Y'all want anything right now?
Oh, dude, I'm totally out of milk. That'd be great. 2%.
Yep. That's hilarious. So I definitely need to get back in the know. I know that getting back into it, I definitely was humbled watching all of the like counter options and stuff. I was just like, wow, I am out of the know. I definitely don't know anything. Everything has changed in the last year. It was a humbling experience, that last territory war, and I'm a bit nervous for the next 24 hours because, again, they're not going to be able to use much of my teams on defense, and then on offense, half the teams they call for offense, I don't even have the right counter, or my mods aren't even correct. Now, I did get sent a list of like, fix these. These mods are totally messed up. And so the list they sent me about,
no.
yeah, of these 10 characters, they were like, fix these 10 characters. I fixed them. But to be fair, I may have messed up 10 more characters in the process of fixing those 10 characters. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't have like an unlimited supply of mods. And so I tried not
Hello, Frogger Jin.
I tried not to mess up the teams that I was trying to fix, if that makes sense. I tried not to steal from characters from those teams that I was trying to fix. But
later, Matt B. Thanks for staying up super early for us.
It's difficult for sure, yeah. We got story time now, you guys, okay? Story time it is.
Oh, Matt Bailey just corrected me. No. Don't Gear 5 Ugnaught, because 2 pieces are really valuable for relics. So, I mean, whale out an Ugnaught so you can be meta and MVP, or whale out on relics. I guess it's one of the two, right?
Yeah, I always, whenever they give us a new character, just max them out, because why not, right? But while I take them up, I always stop at each level. I don't just hit upgrade blindly. I go and look at every piece, and then I craft a lot. I do a lot of crafting until I'm happy, and then I upgrade. And I try to do multi-crafting a lot because I like those fully crafted pieces better. So that way you can always do that. Matt B's like, no, story time. I gotta wait now. Yeah, it is story time.
Now it's gonna keep you up later.
Yeah, so story time. I did kind of spill the beans just a little bit, but story time comes out of yesterday actually, and it was with me and I know, right? And my wife and my daughter, and we're gonna unlock this, and we're going to go whoop. And
never get used to that.
Yeah, never get used to that. And so I'm going to have some fun. So many of you know, most of you know, I was prior military. And so I don't know if my family has a draw to do that because of me, or if it's a inherent draw to want to do it on their own. I don't know. I know my
anybody who I think has a little bit of patriotism in them automatically thinks about the military, about some kind of service.
Probably. I know that my entire family lineage is military, so every one of my uncles and grandfathers basically perished in one of the wars, Korean or World War II or whatnot.
They fought and died in every single American war.
So, and then my mom and my dad both served in the Air Force, and then I was in the Navy, and so there's this family history of serving in the military, and I've made it very clear, nobody has to serve at all. I mean, this is something that it's a calling more than it is like a duty. It's more of a calling. For the record, the stat is of the 330 million people in America, less than half of 1% serve. So it's not even a percentage, not even 1% of the United States.
Who's a minority now?
Serves. Yeah, it's a 0.5%. So, but my daughter, who's 17 years old, has come forth. Henceforth, she has come forth and said, she wants to serve in the United States Army National Guard, and this is a decision she's come to, and it's not come lightly. But kind of a funny, lighthearted story, but with her, she took the ASVAB, which is the test you take to go into the military, and she scored very high. And so she kind of has her pick of the litter when it comes to, which career path she wants to take for them. But I also know they don't have every career path open. I'm not, stupid. When I went into the military, I had a terrible experience personally, and I had to kind of punk them. And then I went in yesterday, and I was talking to the recruiter, and I kind of shared my experience. And of course, my wife and my daughter got kind of red-faced because I was sharing my experience with my recruiter and my MEPS experience. And so that's kind of the story, is my experience in my past. And then of course yesterday sharing this with her recruiter. And so apparently her recruiter is going to, The National Guard's different. They only serve, a weekend a month and then a couple of weeks a year, and they get to live like a normal life. And that's not normal for military. Military normally is like gone. So this is a unique experience for her to go to college full-time and serve the military kind of full-time, so to speak, blended, which is a really unique experience. I'm pretty excited for her.
And I'm pretty sure they still have great benefits for going to college while you're doing that too. So.
Yeah, they actually pay for basically her entire college, and she gets to serve full-time in the United States Army National Guard, and she gets to go to college included. It's the way that you get to go to college and it's paid for, where you don't have to have the government just pay for it, without doing something like you serve your country. So
you're earning it as opposed to just having it handed to you.
Thank you. So I thought this was really interesting, but there's these 17 top jobs that pay these really nice bonuses, and those are being sent to her to kind of review and stuff. But I went into a diatribe with the recruiter about my experience, and she kind of got red in the face, and she started talking over me and telling me how this isn't going to be my daughter's experience at MEPS. And then of course when we left, I was like, everything went pretty good, don't you think? And my wife and daughter both said, my daughter went, well, you guys kind of spoke over each other a little bit, but other than that, it was, it went okay or whatever. I think it went all right. I think you guys were okay, but and I was like, well, I just wanted her to know that like, you're not going to have this experience. And then Connie was like, yeah, she just kind of kept quiet. So she was just like, okay. So anyway,
I'm reading the room. I'm staying quiet.
Yeah. I was like, I just want you to know, like, I've got my daughter's back. So my experience was different, and should be different than hers. Recruiters in active duty military are salesmen. That's all they are. They're salesmen. They've got huge slots they've got to fill. And at the end of the day,
they got a purpose. Sure.
Yeah, they got a bunch of people that come in, and some are rocks, meaning they're dumb, and some are smart. And they bring a bunch of people in, they sign them up, and then they send them to MEPS. MEPS is a processing facility for human beings where they make you do testing. They make you do medical tests and stuff. They make sure that you're like, you don't have like glaucoma going into the military, and you can like go in.
A metal plate in your face and 5 screws and a prior head injury that makes you completely ineligible for service.
Like this guy, things like that. And so they want to make sure the basics are there, so they're not having to pay for an injury that you secretly had that they didn't know about for the rest of your life. So those kinds of things. So it's a processing facility, but I went there for mine. Now, I knew I wanted to be a Navy SEAL when I went in when I was 10 years old. And from 10 till 17, I was friends with the recruiters. Like I went into the recruiting office at 10 years old, I was in the recruiter office. It was next to my house, like a block away. I would walk in every day, do homework in there, talk to them. Like I got to know the senior chief in there. Like it was a very, very, very thorough and long process. They knew me well. They knew what I wanted. They taught me a lot, and I knew what we would call a SEAL source rated job was. A SEAL source rated job is a job in the military, in the Navy, that you have to even go and be a SEAL. Because when you're a SEAL, you're not going to do your job in the military. You're just not. Realistically, you're never going to be like, for example, if you're ordnance, you're never going to actually do ordnance. You're going to be off doing SEAL stuff. So you got to do a job that's kind of other people can do, or that it's filled, or other people can kind of fill in. So they have what they call SEAL source rated jobs, which are jobs that if you disappeared for 6 months, nobody'd miss you. I hate to say it, but that it's got to be those jobs. So non-essential jobs, and they have them rated. They say these are SEAL source rated jobs. And I knew this, and I knew this for years. And I scored very high. I scored a 96 on the ASVAB. It only goes to 99. 99 is the highest you can get. And so nuclear wanted me and intelligence wanted me. But neither one, nuclear and intelligence, neither one are SEAL source rated. So I was like, no, that's not what I want. That's not my career field. That's not my career path. That's not where I'm going. So I said no to both of them. And I went to MEPS, and as does a lot of recruiters, my recruiter had my back in my local recruiting station. But when I went to Denver to do my MEPS process, I went through the whole weekend. I went through all of my things, duck walk on your knees, and, all the things you got to do to prove that you're like physically fit and all that. And then when I got to signing the paperwork, they said, what job do you want? It's like a questionnaire kind of thing. Like, we can't give you what you want, but we want to know what you want kind of thing. And We're just curious. And they ask everyone this. And then later on, they just basically offer you a job and you take it or leave it kind of thing. And they want to see where everyone's at, to see kind of like what they have pool wise of people. And they see what you scored and what you want. And then the recruiters kind of figure out, okay, who they're going to push into what positions. And, you know, poor kids.
Force. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor kids, because most kids, they're like, I want to go into intelligence, you know, and then they're like,
because I'm smart.
I'm going to be swabbing decks. This is fun. You know, they have no idea that they just got the worst job in all of the Navy, and it was all forced, and they signed on the dotted line, and they don't even have their parents with them. It's really terrible, actually, but that's just how it works. And I got up there, but I was learned. I knew what was going on. And so I got up there, and they like laid down the contract, and I looked at it, and I'm looking at the contract, and they're like, here you go. And they're like, you should love this. And I was like, this A school isn't SEAL source rated. And he goes, what? What's the SEAL source rating? Now, this is the head
What now?
of recruiting for the entire region, trying to play off like he doesn't know what SEAL source rating means.
What does that even mean? I don't know.
And he's like, listen, he's like, I assure you, whatever you're talking about, you'll be able to go try out to be a SEAL if that's really what you want to do in boot camp. We let everyone try out in boot camp. It's a thing. It's a thing. That he literally
As
did
he says while he closes his eyes and shakes his head at you,
it's
like,
a thing. And I was like, I'm sorry, but that's not true. You actually go into boot camp. You can only be red flagged if you pass and if you have a SEAL source rated A school selected. So you're wrong. And I was like, I'm not signing this. And I'm 17, by the way. I'm not even an adult. I'm not even an adult.
Let him know how it's going to be.
I can't even legally sign this document without a parental signature. But my mom sent a little piece of paper that basically said that she usurps her authority to my advocate who was with me, which was my recruiter. And my recruiter was kind of sitting there next to me, and he just went silent. Like, you're on your own, bud. Like,
you got my back here, right? Oh,
because he went to the back and talked to this main recruiter, and the main recruiter was like, you're going to let me do what I need to do to like fill these orders. And so he comes out and he just kind of sits there. And I'm just like, you knew me for 7 years and you know what I need. And I looked at him and I was pissed. And I'm like,
oh, hell no.
I stood up and I was like, good day. Put my hand out, and he kind of reluctantly shook it. And I was like, see you later. I turned around, I started leaving, and he's like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going home. I was like, I hope you got a bus downstairs that you can put me on. See you later. I went down, I got into the elevator, and I headed downstairs. It was like, we were on like the 8th or 10th floor. I don't remember how high we were or whatever, but headed downstairs, got into the lobby, went to a couch, sat down, and they, a couple people chased me down. They were like, hey, you got to go back upstairs. They want to talk to you. And I was like, for what?
If we're not going to be able to fix anything, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we got to talk to you because you can't just come. We spent all this money on you to come out here and do all of this and stuff. Like, you can't just leave. And I was like, yes, I can.
You can't just promise me this and then not give it to me and expect me to sign.
Have a nice life kind of thing. And they were like, well, you got to at least come back. We'll talk to him. We'll see what we can do. And I said, okay, whatever, I'll come back. But I'm not taking what you've offered. So I went back upstairs, and the guy sat down. He's like, okay, I understand you're frustrated, but he's like, I'm a bit confused. I don't understand why you're so frustrated. And I said, listen, my career is here, and I have to have a SEAL source rated job. You're the leader of the entire region, and for you to play ignorant and say you don't know what a SEAL source rating is tells me that you don't know your own job, and I don't believe that for 1 minute, which tells me you're lying to me, which means I can't trust your character, which means that I shouldn't do anything with you, so I want someone else. So you need to step out, and you need to have someone else step in, please and thank you. He got red in the face and was like, this is my job. Nobody does this job. And I said, well, someone else does now, or you're not going to have me do anything further. So he went to the back room, talked to someone, and one of his subordinates came forward, and they sat down and said, so what do we need to do to get this done today? And I said, you can find me any job. I don't even care. Any job, but it has to be SEAL source rated. And I had
That's
them all,
risky. But
listen,
yeah.
I had them memorized. I had all SEAL source rated jobs for the Navy memorized. I was a better recruiter than the recruiters were. And I've got a story for that. That's another day. I actually got a NAM, a Navy
story altogether.
Listen, I got a NAM, a Navy Achievement Medal for recruiting. No shit. Excuse my language. No crap. I got a Navy Achievement Medal for recruiting. This was a year later. But anyway, better recruiter than those guys. I'm a good salesman. So, but anyway, he said, okay, hold on. So he left, he came back and he goes, would you want to be in subs or do you want to be on the surface? I said, I don't want to die in a tube. Put me on the surface. I'll do STG. He goes, oh, you know the seal source rating name. And I go, yeah, it's STG. So I'll do STG surface. He goes, okay. So they brought me back a contract with STG, and there you go. That's my seal source rated A school was STG. Did that at ASW, which was in San Diego. Sorry for all the acronyms, but that's what I did. That's why I did it. And that was my
There's
terrible.
A few of them I know all those.
That was my terrible experience in MEPS in Denver, and how they tried to railroad me, and how they railroad people, kids at 16, 17 and 18,
don't know
all
any better.
day long because they don't know better, and they lie to them and tell them they don't have spacing, or they tell them, oh, you can do this, but you can't, and they give them these crappy slots because they're trying to fill slots because they have 900 positions nobody wants, and so they just lie. And then of course, I'm here yesterday with my daughter, and this is a recruiter, right? And so I'm like remembering my experience.
Flashbacks.
Yeah, I'm having like military flashbacks. I'm like, you're not going to do this to my daughter. This is my experience. I explained it to her, and she got red in the face. And of course, she's like, I have to work with your daughter for the next 8 years. So every day, like I live in Fruita, which is a city literally 5 minutes from here. She's like, I'm going to have to see her every day. If I screwed her, I would have to deal with her emotionally, like for the next 8 years.
Like you would care because they've signed on the dotted line already.
So I was just like, but I'm 17, and this is what I had to do at 17.
Which is great that you did that back then, because it's what you're supposed to do. That's how you asserted yourself and got what you needed. Whereas now, they don't want people like that anymore. From what I've heard about the military, they just be like, oh, okay, cool, see you later, walk off. We don't want somebody who can think for themselves.
Yeah, it's nuts. So anyway, that's how yesterday went. But it sounds good. I think that she's going to consider those fields, decide what she wants, and then we're going to figure out which one of those that she wants when there's a open availability and they're willing to do a guarantee contract on that availability. She's going to go up to MEPS to sign a contract on and only on that availability.
With all the proper coaching,
recruiter is going to go
there.
with her. Yep, the recruiter's going to go with her. She said, I don't normally go, but I can. I'm like, you will. Because that's going to be my assurity that you're not lying, that you're actually going to be her advocate, right? And she goes, I can be. I said, okay, then you will be. And you'll go with her, and you'll ensure.
And I just need you to sign on this dotted line to say you will.
I know. Because she's signing her life away, literally. And so that's one of those things, is you got to make sure that you fight for yourself. And that's really one of the biggest takeaways.
Nothing wrong with asking questions and qualifying people. Like, hey, what does this mean? Why are you saying this instead of this? People just seem to have lost that idea that, oh, I can question what's being put in front of me.
Yeah. And that's one of the biggest takeaways in this entire story, is people are taken advantage of on a daily basis, and no one is going to have your back. I hate to say it. Not one. You have got to protect yourself in every legal situation. You've got to protect yourself in every legal situation, and you really, really, really need to research and investigate everything to make sure that you have your back and protect yourself, because other people will say they will and they won't. And then be a clan. Protect your family. Make sure that you're looking out for the best interests of your family and your friends. And then after that, look out for others. I was coming home the other night, stopped to get some mail, and a neighbor's trunk was popped open. And so I stopped, rung his doorbell, and his wife came to the door, told her, hey, your trunk's open. And she was like, oh my goodness. I ran outside and shut it, and then I went home. But things like that, just be a clan, look out for each other, be good people, be good neighbors. You know what I mean? Everything out there is based off of, whether we're willing to look out for each other or not, but lots of people are willing to take advantage of other people. That's just, unfortunately, the culture that is out there in the world. It's not just a American thing or a Canadian thing.
In my experience, it's only gotten worse.
Central American thing. It's an everywhere thing. It's an every culture thing. It's just evil begets evil everywhere. So be good to each other. As always, I appreciate you coming on, checking us out, having fun for the day. Next week, I'm hoping we'll have Jedi Knight Luke. If he comes out before then, we'll do a special stream for the Jedi Knight Luke event, because I want to, unlock him, of course. I hope I
want to see you get him.
Yeah. And as always, make sure everybody keeps your gaming on. Sure shot. Warrior.